Welcome back to another episode of Fitness and Fuckery with your host, Tifanny Urrea. I hope everyone's killing it so far. Happy Monday motivational Monday, whatever that hashtag is on Instagram, which fuck Instagram still, by the way. That shit still get on my goddamn motherfucking nerves with the algorithm and people not seeing my shit because whatever. So today's topic, let's dive right into it. It is something that I want to talk about, something that kind of like recently happened this past weekend at a show. And it's not the first time, but it kind of like was brought to the attention because this happens on the amateur stage quite often because, I mean, they're amateurs, you know, they're not pros. But this happened on a pro stage. Okay, so I'm not going to name names, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I'm not going to name names, because I am known to be savage and name names. But you know what? I'm going to name one of the names. So, I know I'm confusing you. So, basically, I'm like saying so too much and then coughing and clearing my throat. Sorry, I'm developing a cough. This past weekend, an IFBB bikini pro stepped on stage what looked to be about 20 to 30 pounds above her stage weight. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that homegirl was not even close to being ready for that competition. That doesn't mean that she wasn't dieting. She probably was dieting. Of course she was dieting. Now, what could have happened? A lot of things could have happened. A lot of the times people will automatically assume that she didn't stick to her diet, she didn't do the work, whatever, so on and so forth. I'm not gonna say anything like that about her, because it seems as though she has had prior eating disorders. She is a recovered anorexic. A recovered anorexic who then went into the fit lifestyle, which I don't even support that really, because if you have an eating disorder and then you get into competing, that shit might get worse. Most of the times it does get worse. It aggravates whatever issues you currently have. Competing does, because it makes you very fixated on food and the weight and your weight and numbers, and it just, for somebody that is already mentally unstable in that department, throwing them into competing and dieting is not a good idea. So, but I'm sure that was her choice and no one forced her to do so. She's a young girl, and I'm not going to name any names because she, as I said, is a young girl. Okay, she is an adult, yes, but she is very young still. So she clearly has had some mental issues with that. You know, anorexia I would consider like a mental thing. So for me to name names, I don't want her to think that I'm bullying or whatever, you know, talking shit. It's not even about her. This is not about her. Who it's about and who I'm giving the motherfucking side eye to is her coach. Okay? So her coach is also the coach of many very successful IFBB pros. Okay? So this coach, you know what? I'm just going to keep it cute, and everyone's going to know who I'm talking about already. But this coach has many successful IFBB pros. Obviously, the successful ones are not going to come out and say anything. But the not so successful ones, a lot of them stay with him for his name and seek coaching from other people. And a lot of them have also come to me and expressed his methods of coaching. How it's very cookie cutter. If you're not his top pro, then he don't really give a goddamn about you, unless you are his top 5 Olympians and top 5 Arnold placers, whatever the case. So this coach, who I already don't agree with his methods, has this client who stepped on stage, a recovered anorexic, 20 to 30 pounds above stage weight. Now, if it was an amateur stage, it would be like, okay, she probably lost a couple pounds and she wants to do this for herself. And even as a pro, she did it for herself. She clearly knew she wasn't ready. But I'm just all sorts of question marks floating around in my head is, why the fuck is her coach letting her step on stage looking the way she did? Now, she has a great beach body, but this is the IFBB, okay? You are amongst other professionals. Why are you letting your client represent the IFBB and you and yourself, your team, your company as such? This is why I can't coach, yo, because she's representing you. So they're looking at her like, what happened? A lot of things could have happened. She could be really jacked up hormonally and her body just didn't respond. Her metabolism is probably shot to the goddamn motherfucking ground. And she could not shake that weight. But as a coach and he's very involved, obviously, with the IFBB and the organization, he should have stepped and been like, you are not stepping on that stage as long as I'm your coach. You're not doing it because you're representing me and you're not representing me well. I don't think. It's the pro stage. It's not that. I even have an issue with like overweight people stepping on an amateur stage. Like, this is a bodybuilding competition. Everyone works so hard to make it to that stage for them to just let anybody on stage. So that's my issue with that. So this past weekend at an IFBB show, a pro show, a big name coach allowed his client, who clearly has some health issues, has health issues, step on the stage completely 1,000% unprepared. I'ma leave that right there. I'ma leave that sitting right on the table and bring light to it. It was like a big what the fuck. I had people sending me the pictures like, what is this? And it's not hate towards the girl. She's young and she's proud of herself for stepping on stage, which good for her. But her coach, what is you doing? What is you doing? You're alone. You taking on a recovering anorexic is dangerous. What are you doing? So much going through my mind. I feel like there's so many wrongs in it, and I think it should be talked about. What do you guys think? I know a lot of my listeners are really heavily into the competing world, and then a lot of you guys are not. So you'll be like, well, it's whatever she wants to do, and whatever makes her feel good. But let's not forget that at the end of the day, she is a professional. Okay, it's like somebody going to the Olympics that didn't qualify. Why the fuck are they on the at the Olympics? I'm just so confused. They didn't qualify. Like they're not ready, or whatever the case. So feel free to hit me back with some comments if you know what I'm talking about, if you know who I'm talking about. Let's chit chat. Let's talk about it. This some fuckery. This some goddamn fuckery in the fitness industry that I'm covering here on Fitness and Fuckery with your host, Tifanny Urrea. Logging off. Everyone have an amazing rest of your day.